Hello guys, Belle here. Going to be taking a look at the Affliction Warlock. If you can believe it, yes, I did have to swap to Affliction for the purpose of this video, as I did the previous videos for the spell and talent. So don't get excited and don't get any ideas, guys, because this is definitely not a permanent situation. This is strictly for the purpose of giving you guys the information that you need. So let's dive right into the artifact weapon for the Affliction Warlock, which is going to be pretty interesting to go through. Now, there's a couple of things that I will want to note before we actually get started, and that is in relation to the artifact weapon. I'm sure if you're watching this video, that means you already know a little bit about the artifact weapon and what its use is going to be for. But I do want to let you know that if you're thinking of not using your artifact weapon because you don't want to deal with the quest line or anything like that, you pretty much don't have a choice in the matter, as there will be no weapon drops in Legion as far as that's concerned. So the good news is with your artifact weapon, the artifact is spec specific. So if you're wanting to swap to different specs, you'll then have the opportunity to be able to do a new quest line that you haven't seen before, because it is according to that specific specialization that you are getting that specific quest line for. So this does make it really fun when it comes to swapping alts and having to do these things on other characters, because you're getting character specific information here without having to just do the same regurgitated, repeated information and same quest lines that you have to do on all of your alts. At least they'll be different in nature as far as learning other things about your class, about your spec, and about what you're doing in Legion. They'll all be different. Now, it's also important to note that your artifact weapon is going to grow with you. You will start, when Legion presents itself, you will start acquiring your class hall, as well as your, you'll do the artifact acquisition quest to be able to pick that on the spec that you choose. So your item level is going to increase, your power is going to increase, you're going to be collecting artifact power, which is how you're going to unlock these traits, which we'll talk about that more in depth later, but your artifact power will help you do that. You'll probably also notice, and this is going to be different for each specialization, there's going to be relic slots, and specifically for Affliction, you have Shadow and you have Blood artifact relic slots. Now, you'll be able to actually socket here, and this will allow you to increase the item level of your weapon, as well as unlock additional ranks for your minor traits here, which, as you see, rank 3 of 3, you'll be able to unlock those ranks as well, and be able to purchase these using your artifact power. So just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of that, so that we all had the same basic information going forward. Now, I also want to say, in the interest of full disclosure, that I am probably going to say the name of this artifact weapon about 12 different times of wrong, and that's not my fault. But I'm going to do my best to not butcher the name, but it's Ulthalesh, maybe? Ulthalesh? I don't really know. Ulthalesh? I don't know. I'm just going to call it the Dead Wind Harvester, okay, guys? That way I don't completely embarrass myself. But as you see, this is a pretty amazing little weapon here, and I'm actually just going to equip it here. If you watched my Affliction specialization talent and spell preview, then you would have already seen, oops, because all of a sudden I forgot how to do anything in my life. There we go. So that's your weapon as you have it on you. I'm quite partial to the destruction artifact weapon, but I know that there's a lot of Affliction guys out there, so feel free to love and be and do all those things and love it just as much as I do the Affliction weapon. So when it comes to your artifact weapon, your main UI is going to be in your class hall. Every class hall is going to have a basic zone you'll be able to go to within your class hall that you can then engage the UI for, especially your appearance tab. Now, it's also important to note that you can do it from here just by shift and right clicking. You'll be able to see your UI. You won't be able to change the appearances, but you'll be able to see the talent setup that you have as far as that's concerned. So that's pretty nice there. It's also important to note that with all of these artifact weapons, you are going to have a castable ability that you do get for that. So we're going to jump right into more information and providing what this weapon's going to be able to do for you. And then after we go through this, we are going to go through the appearances so that you guys can check out those different possibilities. So let's dive right in with the first thing that you are going to get when you unlock you acquire your artifact weapon is you are going to get your main ability that you'll use for your weapon. Now, this is an instant ability. It's called the Reap of Souls. It does allow for 1 rank. Consume all tormented souls collected by the Deadwind Harvester, increasing your damage by 10% and doubling the effect of the other traits for 5 seconds per soul consumed. So this is actually going to be pretty powerful for you. I mean, it's going to grow in power according to the traits that you have unlocked. So, because it's going to double that, everything's going to be doubled in effect. So, the more traits you have unlocked, the farther you go, the more power that you're going to be able to wield from this Reap of Souls, which could possibly be an oh shit button. This could be used for a lot of different things when it comes to PvP and PvE. So, definitely something that you want to make sure that you have on your bar, because this could be used in a clinch moment. And let's see, it does collect the tormented souls from each target you kill and occasionally escaped souls it previously collected. So that's just part of what you have here for your Deadwind Harvester, which is pretty legit, actually. If I wasn't so against Affliction, I might just like to give this one a go. So, as you guys can see, with your guys' talents, your traits, as it were, because this is essentially what they're called, is their traits, it is a very feel like it used to be the old talent trees where you have to unlock one in order to be able to go the separate different directions and ways that this does allow you to go. So it's pretty nice. So your first trait here is going to be your Crystalline Shadows. This goes up to 1 rank. All of your abilities here, with the exception of your first ability, your first trait that you have, are going to be passive. So none of these are going to be used on use or clickable. These are just going to be strictly passive abilities that are allowed to be here. So that way you already know going into it that they're all passive. So for your Crystalline Shadows, this increases shadow damage by 2%, which obviously, as a dot class, it's important that you have any kind of increased damage, especially when it comes to your dots for your pressure. So that's definitely going to be something that's useful. And it only goes to rank 1, so this is, I think, probably going to be one of those filler traits that allow you to have something there so it looks cool. You also have Seeds of Doom. This can go up to rank 3, increases damage dealt when Seed of Corruption explodes by 15%. Now, since it's at 15% at its max rank, you can probably assume that with rank 1, which will be what you'll acquire first, it'll probably be 5% for that total for the Seed of Corruption. You then also have Compound Interest. This goes to rank 1. Each time Agony and Corruption deal damage, they have a 10% chance to increase damage dealt by your next unstable affliction by 15%. You also have Long Dark Night of the Soul. This does go to rank 3, which is a good thing. Increases healing you receive from Drain Life by 30%. Thinking you could probably assume that it goes in increments of 10 here, so you'll probably start off with the healing of 10%, which Warlock's greatest ability, no matter what spec you are, is your utility and ability to be able to survive. So this is just another thing that it increases there for you to be able to have a lot of survivability. With your Soul Flame, this goes up to rank 1. When you kill a target, its soul bursts into flames, dealing 34k Shadow Flame damage to all nearby enemies. I mean, I like fire, so anytime something has the opportunity to burst in the flames, I'm in. So sign me right up, even though I don't play Affliction. You also have Shadowy Incantations. Now, this does go to rank 3, increases shadow damage you deal by 3%. So, the cool thing is here is you have increases your shadow damage by 3%, and then you have your Crystalline Shadows, which also increases your shadow damage. So, after you've got these, your rank 3 up for the Shadowy Incantations, you can pretty much bet that you're going to have a total of 5% increased damage on top of whatever else you have and any other thing that you have as far as enhancements for your stats, which is pretty nice. You also have Hideous Corruption. This does go up to rank 3, increases damage dealt by corruption by 12%, which is no small feat since it's already doing a lot of spread damage, so 12% is a pretty good increase. Well, I think that's quite nice there, so I think that's pretty good, and it will allow you to go to rank 3, so you'll step into that 12% in a slow fashion. Then you have the Wrath of Consumption. This does go to rank 1. After you kill a target, your damage over time effect deal 2% increased damage over the next 20 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So basically all of your dots are just going to stack up to 5 times with 2% increased damage, and then of course you're just going to keep growing infinitely until you wreck everything in your path when it comes to being Affliction. Affliction has always been an ungodly overpowered spec when it comes to spread pressure and damage. This is true, especially in PvP, which is why it's always been the preferred spec in certain instances, just because the insane amount of damage that it's able to do at the same time versus single target, such as Destruction and Demonology. So this is definitely something that you're going to get a lot of great use out of, and I think that's pretty awesome for you Affliction guys out there. Then you have Perdition. This goes up to rank 3, increases critical strike damage dealt by Agony, Corruption, Drain Life, and Unstable Affliction by 10%. 10% is 10%, guys. Literally, that's 10% to something you didn't have before, and this is several spells in a wide range that it's covering, including your Drain Life, which is your survivability, so that's pretty nice. Then you also have Sweet Souls. This goes up to rank 1. Your Hearthstone heals you, or your Healthstone heals you for an additional 50% of your maximum health, and part of your raid members using a Healthstone also heals you for the amount they were healed. I mean, I don't want to say that that's a little bit overpowered as far as the heals go, but I think that that's awesome that they're giving Affliction the ability to be able to have that for the Hellstones, especially in a raid scenario or, of course, PvP. I think that's pretty awesome, and I'm not going to be a bitter hater, guys. I'm going to go with the flow, and I'm going to say congratulations on that one. For your Inherently Unstable, it's a rank 3, so you'll have the ability to step into it to increase its power. Increases a critical strike chance of Unstable Affliction by 6%, which pretty awesome. Can't be mad about anything that's increasing your power there. You then have the Drain to a Husk. This also is a rank 3, so you're going to be able to step into this slowly as well. Increases damage dealt by your Drain Life by 6%, which that combined with your Perdition here, you're increasing critical strike damage 10% for your Drain Life, and then you have an additional 6%. So that's not too shabby. You then have Inadmittable Agony. This is a rank 3. It's going to increase damage dealt by Agony by 12%. So you already get a 10% increase from Perdition for your critical strike, and then you're also getting 12%, that's one of your dots. So you guys do the math there with severely high power that you're getting from this artifact weapon. Then you have Shadows of the Flesh. This is also a 3rd rank, so you'll be able to step into this via ranks 1, 2, and 3. Increase the amount absorbed by your Soul Leech by 3%. Anytime you have the opportunity to get an increase in the Soul Leech done, that's just a beautiful thing, because that's just part of being a Warlock, and that's pretty awesome. Fatal Echoes is, it only goes to rank 1. When Unstable Affliction expires, it has a 6% chance to reapply itself. Well, fucking A if it's not going to do the work for you. 6% isn't really a whole lot, guys, so that's not a whole lot to be excited about. I feel like this might be also one of their little filler stuff, but 6% is better than no percent, so still, I think it's pretty good. And then, of course, you have the Harvester of Souls. This goes up to rank 1. Each time Corruption deals damage, it has a 15% chance to deal 15k shadow damage to the target and heal you for 100% of the damage dealt. I'll take it. I think that's pretty awesome. I think that's a great ability, and it's a minor trait. And I want to make sure that I explain that, because I don't think I explained that in the other 2 videos. But obviously the Gold Dragon around does mean that this is a major trait. These are going to be your lesser minor traits. So I don't think I explained that fully. And then last but not least, you have your Soul Harvest, which this basically... this is going to be, as you see, it's an extreme amount of artifact power that it takes. But your Deadwind Harvester heeds your call, deeply scarring enemies affected by your magic. Increases all damage by 0.5%. You already have a stamina increase here by 0.75% for every trait purchased, which is pretty nice. So you have 34 traits here, options as far as being purchased. So that's, I mean, who can be mad at extra stat boosts? So as you guys can see, some of this stuff is really, really going to be useful, and it's passive, so it does make a little bit less for you to worry about as far as your rotation, but still good nonetheless. Now, the moment of great importance, which is going to be talking about your artifact appearance. We all want to know what the artifact's doing, and that's all lovely and wonderful and all that good stuff, except we all really just want to know what we can do and change as far as our artifact appearance goes. So there's going to be several instances when you're going to be able to have your artifact weapon take on different looks via different quest lines, dungeons, raids, PvP. You'll be able to unlock it little by little in that regard. So for your first set here, let me go back into it. This is just your standard. So like recover one of the pillars of creation. That's going to be all these things for you to unlock these different colors is going to be situations that you're going to need to go through to unlock it. So for this whole setup here, this is just doing certain things in Legion to be able to unlock, you know, there's the red color. I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. And then the purple, which is really, really super nice. And then, of course, who doesn't like the green? I mean, we're warlocks, for crying out loud. And then your standard yellow. Now, for the Hand of the Afflicted, you get this for completing the Warlock Class Hall campaign. Unlock every trait. Research the full history of your artifact and your class. Complete the achievement this side up. So this gives you the Hand of Afflicted look, which, I mean, yeah. We definitely want the more power version of this for sure. And then, of course, the beautiful purple. You can't really go wrong with the purple. Then for the next look, which is going to be your Soul Siphon, you'll be able to complete a quest line to be able to get this first look. And then complete another set of achievements. And then, challenge mode dungeons. And Glory of the Legion Hero in order for you to be able to do these colors as well. So some of these you're going to have to work really hard for. It's kind of mean on Blizzard's part, but funny nonetheless. So challenge mode dungeons. Using a level 15 keystone. So yeah, that's gonna be tons of fun, as it were. Yay. So yeah, there is that there. And then you also have, let me go back into it so that I can get it to populate here. You have your Death's Hand. This is all going to be PvP related. This is for prestiging, completing and prestiging your weapon. What I liked about this is it does separate you from PvEers. So if you're a PvPer, you want to prestige and take advantage of not only getting the honor and the special things, the special little title bar thing over here that you get, a little banner for prestiging to show people that you are a serious PvPer. This is definitely something that's awesome because your artifact weapon is going to be able to reflect whether or not you PvE or PvP based off the look. So when you prestige, you do get your different color options and you do get a whole different look to your weapon, which is pretty nice. There's the red, which doesn't really seem red. It all seems purple, but who am I to judge Blizzard and their color pickings? But good nonetheless. There are your different appearances, and that is the overlook of your artifact weapon as an Affliction Warlock. Please understand that this is Legion Beta. A lot is open to be changed at any given moment according to Blizzard's whim. This is the most information I have update available for you. If you are new to PWNCAST, please make sure you give the channel a like so that you can stay up to date on all the Legion and World of Warcraft news moving forward. And if you're watching this video, you're already here, you might as well give this a little like. Go ahead and give it a little thumbs up. Comment, tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you think of the weapon, even though I don't play Affliction because, you know, it's Affliction. I prefer Destro. I do like to see different things. Also, if you have not had a chance to check out the spec and talent previews for all the Warlock specs, make sure you go to that playlist on the channel and check that out so that you can be up to date on the latest and greatest that we have to offer. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.